Hey guys, Bladerx here, and with the new 8.9 update, they give everyone T7 combat car. And yeah, they give this to everyone for the Golden Joystick Award, which I didn't vote for them. I don't know if you voted for them, but obviously somebody voted for them, and they had enough votes to win. And this was the reward to all players in 8.9. T7 combat car. It's actually fairly versatile. It's got about a 22-second reload. Not too bad. Lots of ammo. Just make sure you're not running into people. Always have a safe place to go. Always with those kind of autoloader tanks, you gotta find a safe place to go when you're reloading. I don't think the tank's too bad. During this match, I did fairly well. And it strikes me as a solid tank, not really too overpowered, because if you're running into T18s, or if you run into anything with really armor, you're going to have a really bad time. Like, there's a D1. Yeah, there's a... No, that was pretty much the only armored tank here, a D1, and then of course somebody has their T18. Either of those you run into with this tank, you're not going to be able to pin anything. You really need light armor targets to really do some damage. That's one of the upsides of this tank, though, is the huge ammo capacity. I really like that. So if you run into any unarmored targets, you're going to be able to unload on them in one clip easy. Doesn't have much armor to speak of itself, though. It's going to be getting pinned a lot by pretty much anything. If you run into another one of these, as you guys can see in this mirror matchup, some angling you should be able to avoid some shots, but most of them you're not going to be able to do much. And of course, D1, you run into a D1 or anything like this, you're not going to be able to pin anything. Somebody's dropping trees down there. D1 and his friend, medium 1. No ammo to unload on them, but they do get taken out really quickly. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think just firing the normal rounds, you don't get any APCR rounds on this tank, so there's no special rounds. Just firing the normal rounds, I don't think you're going to be able to pin a D1 anywhere, even from behind. Far range, not going to be able to hit that far. Happens a lot on this map. If you're on the southern side, in certain tanks you're not able to shoot that far. Especially with autoloaders, you don't. The lower tier autoloaders don't have that much range on them. It's mobile, but it's not too quick. I think when I first started the match, I was surprised at how slow it was. So you're not going to be getting too much speed on this thing. Does accelerate rather quickly when you're going downhill, I guess, but other than that, you're not going to be getting too much speed. I think it's a solid tank. It's I don't know the matchmaking yet. If it only gets, I'll have to check after this match, but if it only gets tier 3 max, it's a really good tank. But if I don't think it'll get it thrown into tier 4s. It's like the other tanks like the Panzer IV. If you're on the move, you should be able to avoid a lot of shots from enemies and then get entirely taken out there. Yeah, I'm going to have to check the matchmaking out this, but if this sees max tier 3, I could see this being a good tank. Just prey on lightly armored targets with your autoloader, get to cover, repeat. start hunting down the funnel players hiding, most of them. It's a French TD, British TD, and then just a couple tier 7 combat cars. See, for this one, I let him turn. It was weird. I could have swore he was looking another way, but he was actually changing his tank to look towards me. The silhouette looked kind of weird. And of course, he got one shot on it, in on me before he died. It's his British buddy. Didn't actually react. I was kind of expecting him to shoot it, to open up on me. He was just staying still to stay hidden. I'm surprised I didn't actually see him the first time. He must have been a little bit more covered behind the bushes up front. And like I was talking about earlier, you run into anything armored, this T18 up here, there's really nothing you can do in a T7 combat car. You're not going to be able to pin it frontally. I don't even think if you hit it at its weak part on the front, you're going to be able to pin it. So he's just futile and gets taken out really quickly before I can get in. So I like the tank. Give it a 8 out of 10. Thanks a lot for watching, guys.